my son has a ticket to leave in the morning. The only reason he hasn't been deported is because we said we would buy our own ticket because we would feel so ashamed, you know.
Yes, of course I do.
He does nothing wrong. He has never been in any trouble at all. He's clean living.
So what happened? Where are you from originally? Where did you?
St. Vincent of the Grenadines.
So you came from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I came from the Windrush generation, which was in 1959.
In the yeah.
Here, I worked with the government. I was a civil servant, and I worked for years here. 1980, I went to St. Vincent for a break, and I had my son then. He came back to England with me for a while, but I sent him back home. I was having difficulties, so he went back home, and
yes.
His dad, well, I came back and worked. When he was 18, he came over. He went to college as a student. We paid for him as a student to go to school, etc., etc. He's left the country after his visa was expired. In, I think it was 1910, he went back to the West Indies, 2010, sorry, and somebody he was going out with for a while got married. She was European.
Yeah.
And they came back to live in England, had a lot of difficulties, and the marriage broke up. So that means that he apparently...
So he would have had citizenship if he was still married to her, but he's not. And why does he not get it just by dint of being your son?
So...
Because you haven't...
So we applied.
Right.
Actually, he was working when he was married, and he continued working. In 2015, I was diagnosed with a very life-threatening disease. And there was no money, no income, and he had to work, and he took me to hospitals and
yes.
looked after me and cared for me up till now. We've applied in 2016, and after waiting about 18 months, they refused him. What
reason did they give?
Well, I think it had to do with his marriage breaking up. I just feel they had a relation. They had a thinking that he married for convenience, but he did
But I
not.
don't care about his marriage. He's your son.
Well, they're not considering that either. I mean, we have been stressed. It's made my situation worse. He's been depressed. I mean, we really have been suffering for the last couple of years. The Home Office has made us feel less than human beings. They would just refuse. We paid lawyers, and they kept saying...
But he's your son, and he wants to look after you.
I know.
In the country that's been your home since 1959.
That's right.
To which you were invited by our government.
That's right. My parents were.
How big a hole? I mean, I don't want to inquire too much about your health. I'm certainly not going to inquire about your age. That would be very ungallant of me. But how much looking after you does he do at the moment?
Well, everything really, because of my age.
And what's going to happen when he's not there anymore?
I don't know. I have no idea. No, nothing could replace a family member or my son.
Can I talk to him briefly?
Sure you can.
Ruth, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, mate. What's your understanding of why they've told you that you can't stay here, that you can't live here anymore?
I don't know. It's so complicated.
Yeah.
When my wife left, obviously, I'm left to the dogs. You know, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. And as she left, quite depressed, Mom found out she had cancer. Sorry, Mom, I have to tell them the truth.
Go on.
So I just dropped everything. It became tunnel vision. You know, like
sure.
Your mom takes care of you your whole life. It's your time to help her back. You know.
Yes.
So it started with doctor's visits and operations, which mean getting to Oxford from where we live here in Slough.
Okay.
So I had to get a job because Mom couldn't work. She couldn't really move around like she used to. So I had to get some money just to get us to and through the hospital and, get some food to eat. So I obviously didn't realize that I was breaking their laws. I just was just trying to help my mother, by not reporting myself in and saying, oh, my wife left. From that moment on, they didn't care what happened after that.
Because your immigration status depended upon your marriage as opposed to your mother.
Exactly. So, with Mom having the cancer, obviously nothing else mattered, and I just knuckled down, worked, and when I had my holidays and my days off, I took her to the hospital. I made sure that those days were in thing with her operations. And now they've asked me to leave, and we've been through judicial review. You see, it's a roundabout. You have to pay lawyers. There's the courts you have to pay. At the end of it, you have no money, and they're threatening to send you home. So, I mean, every knock on the door, you think they're coming to get you. Every car that pull ups outside, you think it's them. I couldn't deal with that on top of everything.
No, because of the stigma and the idea of sitting in handcuffs on an aeroplane or whatever it would involve. I understand your position completely. It's not about me anymore, per se. It was just Mom, she needed a little love and attention and a little care, So, what's the point of me being all the way over there in the Caribbean, a place I don't really know much anymore, and my mom's there suffering by herself? I don't know. There's no light at the end of the tunnel at the moment, then?
Yeah, it's been no silver lining for a while, sir.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know what to say to you. This is, that Theresa May talked about trying to create a hostile environment. How do those words reach your ears?
Well, I've been living in this hostility. It's the only world I know, and I don't know. I love Britain. It's been my home for so long. I don't really know anything else, But it is hostile, and I don't know if they mean for it to be this way, but that's just the way it is. And you're put through this red tape with finances and lawyers, and at the end of it, you're left with no money. There's no way forward. You put all your eggs in your basket, and it's dropped off at the end, and there's nothing. You have nothing. And my loved one, my mama, I don't know how you are with your mom, but I didn't care, before, but for Mom,
yeah.
I don't know what to do, It's a bit rough.
A bit rough. You're a master of understatement. Can I say goodbye to your mum? Would you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, mate.
Hi, James.
Hey, Ruth. I don't know what to say to you, my love, but I didn't want to just say goodbye to your boy and not say goodbye to you.
Thank you so much, James.
David Lammy is a good man. You've got him on your case. Dominic Grieve. Dominic Grieve is a good man. You've got him on your case.
Thank you so much, James.
Just let me know what's going on, all right? And if I can shout, and that's all I've got. I've just got a loud voice. Ruth, I'm so sorry I couldn't do more.
Always loved you.
Stop it.
Thank you. Bye.
God bless.